Don't get fooled. Grab a drink, because this is Hangover Time.
He'd win. He'd win. He'd beat a team that was actively trying to lose. Finally. Finally, they beat a team that is actively trying to lose games. The Heat beat that team. Finally. Heat wins. 2 straight road wins. I mean, holy shit. Set a record for 3-point shots made and still scored under league average. Holy shit.
1 by 2.
1 by 2 against the mighty Thunder, led by Giddy and, well, SGA, of course, and Giddy.
Pronounce Yiddy.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. My bad. Listen, man, a win is a win, especially this season. We've seen a lot of really good teams lose to a lot of really bad teams all year. They blew a 21-point lead again, another big lead, but we've watched that happen throughout the league. One thing we can say about this Heat team, in crunch time games, they are well prepared because all they play is crunch time games. All they play is close games. I literally think their point differential has to be 0 at this point because they win by 2, they lose by 2. They win by 4, they lose by 4. It's maddening, but right now, when Jimmy Butler sits, with the way this team is playing, you have to celebrate every win. 2 wins in a row. It puts them right in the thick of things in the East. Like, we make these jokes about tanking. They're like a half game out of third. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous for anyone to want to tank. It looks like they're starting to get some things together, and then it just falls apart in the third quarter every single time. An interesting stat I heard, the Heat were like the best third quarter team last year. I think it's bullshit. I swear to God, I heard that. Somebody got to look it up. They had
liar.
They had the best point differential in the third quarter last year. I heard it. I think it was Adam Lefkoe on the Lebitard show. Anyway, I am Alf954, aka Alphonse Sidney. I did that backwards. Who gives a shit? You are watching Hangover Time, the Miami Heat Beat post-game show. If you're watching live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Miami Heat Beat. That's how you can always find us. Thank you very much. We love you, the loyal listeners, the loyal viewers, the loyal fans. We love you. The chat be lit. We have a great time after every game that we do the show. If you're watching live on the 5 Reasons YouTube page, thank you. But also come and check us out on Twitch because going forward, we're not always going to be on 5 Reasons YouTube. So if you enjoy this show, if you enjoy what we do, go ahead and subscribe to us on Twitch so you can get those alerts when we're not necessarily going to be on the 5 Reasons YouTube page. And if you're watching the replay on either of the YouTube pages, we love you. Thank you very much. But always try to catch us live, catch the stream. It's so much fun. We have a good time. And if you're listening to the podcast, I'm sorry you can't see my beautiful face and the beautiful face of everybody else on this panel. Bring me out, Brass. Ooh. Hey. Oh,
right.
No women here tonight, so
sausage party.
It's not as
maybe.
It's not as pretty as
up, bros?
As it normally is. Yeah, what's going on, guys?
This is what happens Wednesday versus Thunder.
Remember when we were gonna pick the best game of the week?
Yeah.
I mean, technically, have you seen the games this week?
Listen, and I'm also restricted to Monday through Wednesday, so it's the best game Monday through Wednesday.
At least they got shy.
Yeah, we got something. Listen, I think OKC is a fun team. They got.
I personally really love OKC. I'm hoping they win the Wembanyama sweepstakes because Wembanyama and SGA together would be fun as hell to watch.
And what's that? What's the big goofy dude they got?
Chet.
Oh, Chet Holmgren. Like
yeah.
They got 2 ostriches out there if they get Wemby and Chet.
Chet,
like I don't know.
Holmgren. He sounds like a rogue scout.
Chet Holmgren, yeah. I'm pretty sure he scouts linebackers for
Like
Ohio State.
Like he shows up to games
I think,
but isn't
I think he
affiliated
got
with a
Chet
team.
Kammerer wrong.
It's like Chet's here again. What team is he with? He's not with the team.
He's scouting who he feels best for different teams.
He's got a notepad. It's weird. All right, Brass. Let's. What I want to do is go around the panel, and I want you guys toast your player of the game. Somebody in the chat says Lowry is trash. If that's what you came away from this game,
He took one bad shot. Leave him alone.
I don't know. Like it's all. I want to delve into the psyche of that human being, like that watching the Heat win, and like I thought Lowry played pretty well. Like he hit timely shots, he hit a bunch of threes, and then come away like Lowry's trash. Like
He shot 50% from the field, 4 from 9 from 3, had one turnover, scored 14 points.
Possibly. Why? How could you come away from this game and just be mad at Kyle Lowry? I don't get it.
I was mad at the step back too, but like Jesus Christ.
No, the step back three was arguably the worst shot of the entire game.
Well, that's why
it was like rookie mistake type.
That's
shit.
why my display name is Kyle Lowry needs better shot selection.
Yeah, I called you Kyle. Fucking G was defeated, like because he hopped in this. We're setting up like right after that shot happened, and he was just like, ugh.
There was like, but I will say there was like.
So he is disappointed in Kyle sometimes, guys.
There were like 50 brain dead shots
Rare.
this game. Like rim pressure.
Kyle only took one.
Rim pressure. Anybody?
No.
Downhill.
No.
Yeah. Get in the paint. Okay. I guess that's just me. Moose, go ahead. Let's toast your player of the game.
You already know where I'm going. I've been waiting all year to have another drip drop night. I was going to do the, oh, thank you. Yes, the imaging. It's been so long. I was going to do some cereal, but it's a little moldy. So instead, we're just going to toast to him. Tyler Herro was your boy tonight. Shout out to Zaslow. He was fantastic. Shooting from 3, from half court, making everything. Take me out, Brass. That's my guy, Tyler Herro.
Career high in 3-point makes, 9 makes tonight. I mean, that is awesome. Like, I mean,
fantastic.
He gave them that perimeter shooting they needed. He gave them some of that inside scoring they needed. And they needed every single bucket. So all you people like, if Tyler scored every 25 points a game, we lose. Listen, if Tyler didn't score 25 points, you would have got your ass blown out tonight. Like this.
Yeah.
Listen, and I'm not. Maybe we'll get back around to that. Like that whole narrative that if Tyler scores too much, we lose.
We're gonna get to it soon.
Is it me?
We're gonna get to that soon.
Yeah, the music's loud.
Yeah,
I turned it off.
Lower the
know what
fucking
happened.
music, Chief.
Kenny, in your witness protection over there in Dallas, like you have to find something. There needs to be something going on with the lighting. I don't know what's happening.
I need to buy some more. I got 3 lights in my face. I still got this little dark area. I'm not drinking tonight, and I don't know the Twitch rules on what I am doing, so I can't show that. But I am gonna toast to Dwayne Dedman. I am fucking lying right now. I'm toasting to Tyler Herro.
Oh, okay. I was like, why?
I mean, you gotta look. There's this whole thing about him scoring too much, which that being a problem is hilarious in itself. But they needed all 35 points from him. He came through with it. So salute to him. Again, I can't show what I have over here, but toast.
Okay.
Weed is tight. Weed is tight.
I won't confirm or deny that on there.
Bane
shout out
Heights
to
says the music was
watching.
so loud he was staring at G.
Everybody knows that G, when the music is loud, it's
Usually it's G's fault.
It was fine all season until G started showing up on fucking shows.
That's on me. I have accountability.
Yeah.
Why are you in the private chat saying it might be my fault? That the
I
music
just
is
read
loud?
that.
We're not headphones.
So the last time
No one gives a shit.
We were getting an echo from your headphone, and that's why
Duncan fucking Robinson is my
Mark
player
Curry.
of the game. All of a sudden, you know, he hasn't fucking hit the floor in forever, and everyone's counting him out. We've been telling you that's what you do, right? You say you've been saying shit, and then it just becomes true, and like you look smarter than everybody else. That's what you're supposed to fucking do. I don't really know. Fuck that. I don't really care. But the thing is, listen, awesome 3-point shooting night. Duncan shows up again. 4-8 from 3. I'll fucking take it, man. I'll take it.
Maybe there's a correlation. I don't know. G,
I don't know.
who's your player of the game?
Listen, my player of the
It
game
better not be
today.
Kyle Lowry.
It's
I swear to
Mbappe.
God.
It's Mbappe because we need somebody to
That's
beat
even
Messi.
worse. Take him out.
Yes,
Thank you.
Mbappe.
God.
I don't even know if that.
I actually wish you would have
I don't
said
really
Kyle
know what it
Lowry.
is.
I'm pretty sure that's a clothing line. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Brian, who is your? Is that Bathing Ape? Same shit. Who is your player of the game?
Yeah, it's definitely not Mbappe. I do like Messi. Go Argentina. Let's say Bam. I feel like everybody's going to say Tyler Herro on this panel, but I think Bam had a pretty good game. He had another double-double in this game. There were about 2 plays where I thought for sure he was out for the rest of the season, so I'm glad he's not hurt. Other than that, honestly, like I think the rest of the team shot the ball really well. Obviously, they set the record for 3, so they needed that to win a game against OKC Thunder by 2 points. Yeah, that's not that great.
All right. Well, my players of the game, I'm going to give it to the entire Heat bench. Toast to you guys for finally not being a fucking disaster.
Yes.
Thank
for
you.
one time. Yeah.
Duncan Robinson, thank you. Haywood Highsmith, Dwayne Dedmon, Victor Oladipo, especially Vic.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for not being a total fucking disaster tonight. Everybody on the bench was at least a plus 14, except for Vic, who was a plus 18. There wasn't a single positive player in the starting lineup. And you know what? I'm not mad at it because I'm tired of the starting lineup carrying this team every single night, having a 6 to 8 point lead, and then the bench coming in and just completely blowing it like Dedmon's knees. No, they increased the lead every time they came in there. Like it was just really nice to see. Not a total collapse. And Moose, I think one of the things that they talked about a lot on the broadcast, we talked about it a lot on here. One of the things that's changed is Eric Spoelstra's rotations, right?
Yes.
He has
finally.
made it a point for Tyler Herro to come out early and for him to get a lot of minutes with 4 bench players, with those 4 guys I just named. And Tyler was the leader of that unit that kept them in the game and actually grew leads, right? And we've talked about it. Like people want Tyler to go to the bench, and I've said it before, and I think people on the show have said it before. It doesn't necessarily mean him going to the bench is not necessarily the answer. Maybe him playing with the bench more is the answer, and you can do that with the rotations.
Exactly. Tonight was a perfect example of what we've been talking about all year. It's not, like you said, it's not about moving him to the bench. Just space out those minutes. Let him play more with the second unit. And you're starting to see the second unit feeds off it as well. I mean, you said it earlier. Victor Oladipo was sensational tonight. I was not expecting the performance that he gave us on both ends of the floor. But I think playing alongside Tyler in that second unit, you're going to get more of Oladipo that way. You're also going to get more of Caleb Martin. The entire bench was moving with a much better flow tonight. And some of that is the carryover from last year. You know, that unit plays well together. So if you can extend Tyler's minutes more with the second unit and still keep him around there so he has something left for the fourth quarter, it's the best of both worlds. And that's how you're really going to utilize him at his peak and get the most out of everyone else alongside him.
And you know what, Kenny, he wasn't a liability defensively tonight. I think that he played really good defense. They just had these lulls where they just could not score, right? I mean, there's one quarter where OKC scored 32. I'm not blaming that on Tyler. They even left Tyler in for the last defensive possession, which I was surprised by. I thought they would have went with somebody else, but he wasn't a liability on defense tonight, and that allowed him to stay in the game, allowed Spo to trust him, and allowed him to lead that second unit.
Yeah, Tyler's actually been fairly decent defensively all season. They still go at him at times, and it does work. But today they actually went more so at they went at Max a little more. And that's not to knock Max. Max is, I don't know. But no, Tyler's been fine defensively. And today it was more so about the scheme. They were in a lot of zone. And so you can kind of protect him there if he does have weaknesses. And they made a real effort to bring the help on Shea if Shea did try to get that mismatch. And so it worked out for him in that sense. Now on the offensive end, it seems like third quarter just stopped running stuff. And they let OKC control the pace also. So they was just jacking up shots early in the shot clock. They needed to cut that out. But defensively, I think they were fine. They weren't, but at times they were.
A little bit concerned. I don't want to be, like Debbie Downer tonight. A little bit concerned, like I said in the opening, 110 points, and you needed a record from 3 to get there. There were so many times tonight where even if they got a little dribble penetration, nobody outside of Bam wanted to shoot anything with inside the 3-point line. And a couple times Tyler. I mean, we saw Kyle do it. We saw a lot of guys do it. They would get inside the 3-point line, and it was immediate kick out. There was times where the ball never even crossed the 3-point line in an offensive possession. It was just perimeter, especially when Dedmon was in there. They weren't trying to get anything inside the paint. Is tonight fool's gold a little bit? Because I don't think the Heat's offense is fixed in any way, shape, or form.
So funny that you bring that up. So Tiff Bond and I talked about this a little bit with Rohan on the podcast the other day. We asked, if you can change one thing about this Heat season without making a personnel move, what would it be? Or like, what would you want? And I think we all kind of agreed that they need to just shoot a little bit better from three. They shoot a little bit better from three. It's going to elevate kind of the floor of the team. Like you saw today, the bench suddenly looked really, really good because they shot well from three. And if they can make enough shots to survive, I think this team's going to look a lot different. There was a stat going around today, and it was kind of showing the best 5-man units in the entire NBA. And guess what? The Heat have 2 of them. One of them is Lowry, Strus, Martin, Butler, Adebayo. The other's Lowry, Herro, Strus, Martin, Adebayo. So clearly, you know, when they're best units, you know, fuck them numbers, as Alleged has said before. You know, they're plus 16 and plus 6.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Take him out.
They're really good.
I was liking everything he was saying up until then.
If the bench can hit some shots like tonight of shooters that we know are good, their life is going to change considerably.
Yeah.
Brian, what's wrong with Max?
They like
half of the whites.
They
Brian.
totally ruined him this entire season. Same thing we're doing with Gabe Vincent. Like they just burned him with playing him so many heavy minutes while the team was basically like 7 or 8 healthy deep. And now he's paying the price for it because it seems like he has 0 lift on his shot. I don't think I've seen him dunk a ball since like the second game of the season.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I mean, that's what happened with Caleb Martin last season, no? Like
Yeah,
at a certain point, like he was hitting, he basically got hurt, and then like you just didn't really see him play to that level of athleticism, because I think Max actually has a lot of athleticism in his game that he needs in order to, you know, play well, especially defensively. I feel like defensively he's also slipped to a certain degree than he did last season, but offensively, like his 3-point shot has 0 lift on it now, and he's like forcing it to it. Like he took 12 threes the last game. This game he took 7, 2 for 7, and the team shot the ball well. And surprisingly, he didn't even go off for the team to make 24 threes in a game. So I don't know. I feel like at a certain point, maybe Duncan needs to play more minutes than him and let him rest. Obviously, Duncan looks like he's healthy now, so I play Duncan more and just kind of ride the wave with Duncan until Max kind of regains some form.
Can't be worse than Max has been lately. I mean,
Leo Soto says the ancient Tequesta curse says only one white shooter can be on at a time for the Heat. Shoes now sacrificed for Duncan. Vengeance. It almost feels that way sometimes.
Can't prove that's not true.
Yeah, I know. Can you? I mean, there have been times where they're both going. Oh, I mean, just exquisite. But we haven't
had
seen
all
that.
3 going. Oh,
sounds like Biggie.
When we have. All right, before we go any further, we haven't done this in a while, and shame on us because we really need to celebrate our Twitch subscribers. And, you know, we used to do it a lot more on the weekends because we would get drunk. Now it's the weekdays, and we're getting tipsy. We're not getting as drunk as we used to on the weekends. But what we want to do, we used to call out subs, and Moose would hit them with a drip drop, and we'd all take a big swig or a shot. So, Brass, go ahead, call out the subs, and I want to hear a huge drip drop in honor of Tyler's record-setting night tonight. Let's go.
I love it.
All right, we got Gabe the Babe 0163 gave out 1 community gift sub. Let's see. What Fig said, resubscribe with Prime. He said, a W is a W. Nobody remembers the scores at the season end. I agree with that one. Pull up from 40, resubscribe with Prime. Let's see. Mabel, Mr. Bill subscribed 1 month at tier 1. Just Jared 92 gave out a community gift sub. Just Jared 92 also gave out a 1 month tier 1 sub to Carla Tiana.
Yes,
and
love it.
Hwangry like the wolf resubscribe with Prime. And again, if you don't already know this, if you're on Twitch and if you have Amazon Prime, you can use once a month on one channel on Twitch. You can use a Prime sub. You have a free Prime sub that you can gift to your. Well, you're not gifting it to yourself, I guess. You're just using the. I don't know how the fucking thing works.
Well
but
said,
the
Brass.
Jeff
cool.
Bezos.
Thank
No,
you.
but it's very cool. Twitch doesn't make it. Amazon doesn't make it super easy to do. I think we should
Desktop
guys,
only.
Well,
Yeah,
we have
let's-
the instructions in the chat. The
That
instructions
sounds
and
in
so
the
we'll
chat.
release a
complicated.
tutorial soon. We'll walk you step by
Yeah.
step how to do it. It's a very cool thing to do. Thank you all for your support. And Vane Hype, before you get to this, Moose, Vane Hype gifted a 1-month tier 1 sub to Tyler Hero.
Hey, hype. I'm gonna get you one
One
time for all the subs. Drip drop.
I heard that too many times this weekend.
I was literally saying I've never said it as much as I've said it like in the last 4 days, 5 days,
Nope.
whatever.
Well, we'll get to this weekend.
Yeah.
In a little bit. But before we get there, let's go to one of our favorite segments, the Gagagaga of the game. You know, I literally forgot that's my face on the guy dunking. So just now I was like, oh shit, I forgot that.
That's right, because you never see the imaging.
Yeah, because we don't. Yeah. All right, here. Great steal by Caleb. This is a huge basket. Vic finishing through the contact.
Clutch basket.
Shot again.
I mean, Lou Dort is the size of a refrigerator. So it's really nice that he was able to finish through this. I was afraid his head was going to hit the stanchion. I was like, he's going to be out for another 2 years.
Yeah.
And shortly after that,
Shortly after that, now we're tied up.
By the way, we took off 30 seconds of Tyler dribbling for that shot. I was so afraid. I was like, Tyler, you're gonna run out of time just dribbling.
But listen, those are the kind of shots so much better than the step back threes we normally get.
Yeah.
That's
That's
to
getting
win
to your
games.
spot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, this wave made me nervous.
Oh my God.
That was some Trae Young shit. And honestly, Tyler, knock that shit out, dude.
Yeah, don't ever do that again.
We don't
I
do
think
that
he
around
was
here,
saying
right?
to sit down, but he got caught in the middle of a wave and a sit down.
Yeah.
It's not.
Either way,
Sit.
Either way, act like you've been there, get your ass to the bench. You don't want to be on that Summer Jam screen, Tyler. Telling people to sit down and then all of a sudden SGA hits a 3 in your face because it would be in Tyler's face to win the game. So that was you're right, Moose. I was like, oh my God, this is a Trae Young situation.
Yep.
Situation.
Like Trae Young,
I
Tyler
miss
Hero
those
has
situations.
guts.
This is true.
This is true.
Tyler's trying to get another shirt. I'm convinced of that.
I'd buy it.
It's been a while.
We'd buy it, right, Kenny? We'd buy that shit.
He needs more cereal. Kenny, is it tomorrow they're playing the Rockets? I'm so out of the loop.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Play
So-
again tomorrow?
Yeah. So
It's fucking
this,
grueling season, man.
this was a stretch of a hugely winnable games, right? The Memphis Grizzlies game was not supposed to be that, but their entire starting lineup was out. It was a really winnable game, right? They lose that one. Then they play, I forget who they played next, and they lost. The Pistons. They lose against the Pistons. I forgot who they played because the Pistons sucked that fucking bad, right? They pick up the they lost to the
Clippers.
Spurs.
They beat the Clippers before they lost to the Spurs.
I'm
Up
all
in
over
one
the place.
mediocre dream.
Yeah, so now they're picking up some of these wins against quote unquote bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing the Rockets tomorrow, who have beaten some teams lately. They're on a 5-game win streak at home. I think I heard tonight.
Sneaky.
Fucking hope Bam plays. I fucking hope Bam plays.
And if
Jesus.
Bam is out, I think Jimmy comes back tomorrow. But
Yeah.
probably means Vic is out.
I got Bam sitting tomorrow. Why?
Probably, but
Yeah.
Jimmy might be back, and then and we have no big rotation.
I think they're gonna try to do heaven or high water to make Bam play because they don't really, Deadman might not be able to go on the second night of a back-to-back with the foot.
They need somebody.
So it's gonna be
it's
like
gonna be
Orlando Robinson and
Duncan as the backup 5.
We have enough.
Kenny, how important is it for them to win this game and get back to 500?
It's way more important than it should be against a tanking team.
For real. Yeah.
The Heat have always played down to their competition. and it made sense when they were good enough to do that. But this season they've been doing it, and it's been pretty annoying. They just got to find some stuff. Again, I don't know if Bam's playing tomorrow either. They let OKC control the pace tonight. You better not do that against the Rockets. So it's more important than it needs to be. They better fucking win tomorrow. That's really all I got for that. It's way more important than it needs to be.
Brass, if Jimmy's back tomorrow and you're playing the Rockets, who are not a great defensive team, I really hope we see more rim pressure. We see more shots at the basket, more points in the paint, and we're not just living on the perimeter, living and dying by three-pointers. Because we saw what happened tonight. You're hot from three in the first half. You look amazing. Once you go cold and they have nothing else to go to, especially if Bam sits, Jimmy's got to put the pressure on the Rockets around the rim.
Agreed. I'm glad that they had this excellent shooting game from three. They did. Sometimes you need that to sort of like break that seal and just kind of, reset shit. But you cannot be dependent on this. This is not going to happen again like this. Now, I do think they're going to settle back to a little closer to, at least in between what they were playing last year. They were the number one. So they were number one 3-point shooting team last year. And are they like 22 this year?
They were 28.
Sounds about right.
They were 28th.
Number one.
28. What the fuck? Like that is
So
crazy.
This is after the Indiana game.
I don't give a shit what game it's after. You went from 1 to 28.
And I mean, what are their points per game?
That's not good.
Points per game, they're 28th in the league. So
their offense, I know for sure their offense is 28th as well, or it was at one point. It might be a little better now.
I'm hoping it builds the confidence back up, but don't rely on it. Jimmy, if Bam can't play, we are going to need Jimmy just all hands on deck tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Like it's necessary. The last game, Jimmy sort of came out. He was sort of chilling for much of that game, and then he came out and he started looking like playoff Jimmy in the last minute or two.
Fucking
like
troll.
Just yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at Jimmy because he can turn that shit on, and Jimmy does amazing things. But we can't if Bam is not gonna be there, we absolutely cannot rely on that, Jimmy.
So Brass, the exact number. So they're 20s. They were, this is after the Indiana game, so not counting tonight. They were 27th in offensive rating. They're the 24th worst 3-point shooting team while shooting the 8th most attempts. So they're taking a lot and they're missing a lot.
I don't know what that means.
They're 18th in effective field goal
Really
percentage
suck
at
from
the
three.
rim. So they shoot really poorly at the rim. They're about 18th, and then they're 26th in attempts. So they barely get to the rim. They're 21st in free throw attempts and 23rd in offensive rebounding.
They do
still
nothing
confused. Are we
well
good?
on offense. I
They
think
fucking
that's
stink.
the point.
Alf, how many shots do you think they made at the rim tonight?
It's too many numbers.
Maybe 2, 3 at the rim.
At the rim.
Bam had the alley-oop, Vic's layup, maybe 3 or 4.
OKC had 18. They were 18 of 30. Miami was 6 of fucking 16. So the Thunder made
only
more.
shot 16 shots at the rim.
Oklahoma
Jesus.
City made more shots at the rim than Miami attempted.
That's insane. And Brian,
56 3-point attempts.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
against
I'll
a team
fucking say
that's
that.
not known for their defense, by
Do
the
you remember
way.
that? Remember a few seasons ago we won a game without a single 3-point shot?
With maybe a 3-point make.
I mean,
Make. Yeah, maybe it was a
couple
make.
seasons ago we won a lot.
But
of
we won.
games.
But we won. I mean,
Yeah.
what a
We used to
weird
win a
fucking
lot.
league this is.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Brian, I've been screaming all this podcast, post-game show, whatever you want to call it.
It's
Everywhere
both.
I will get a microphone that it's not the defense. Like, it's the defense. The defense. Fuck it. It's not the defense. You have to be able to score. Like the days of being able to score 108 points a game and win games is over. Like, you have to be 114, 115 points per game, and this team cannot score.
Yep.
Right. And Jimmy had that quote the other day, like, our offense isn't the problem. Did you hear what G just said? They are like one of the worst offensive teams I've ever fucking seen. They are not good at anything offensively. Like, I mean, what is the disconnect between what we're watching and what they're talking about?
It seems like they feel like their offense is at its best when they're in transition, which is kind of basically a result of them playing well on defense.
Wait, before you go any further, they were playing good defensively tonight, and at one point it was 19-0 in fast break points. All right. So fuck out of here with that transition shit. They literally didn't score a fucking transition basket, I think, until Oladipo's layup that we just showed.
And that was with a minute left in the fourth quarter.
Okay, just point that out. Because
what
the defense was on point tonight, and motherfuckers wasn't getting out of transition for shit. Anyway,
I don't
go ahead,
know.
Brian.
For what
I
it's
think-
worth, Brian, they're the
Yeah.
third most efficient transition team. The problem is that they get out in transition like they're 20.
They're not good
transition
at any. They're one of the best free throws.
Small sample
in the
size
league.
theater.
No, yeah,
There's
that's exactly what I'm saying, Alf. Like they take so they
But they
do
don't take
so
the free throws.
few
I'm sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
of
Go
the
ahead.
things they're good at.
So it sounds like they're good at things that they don't do enough of, but they do too many things that they're not good at. Is that what it feels like on offense? I feel like they need to
Well, it looks
fix
right.
that somehow.
Somebody fucking clip that. It's like,
That's
Put it on
perfect
my-
analysis.
Pat
when they
Clip
fucking give me
that.
a heart attack this season, put it on my fucking tombstone. Anyway,
And
go ahead.
until they get that shit situated and Jimmy stops talking nonsense, I think they'll be all right.
Perfect. I'm at a loss after that. I was enjoying that quote by Brian. Let's go to and these stats. Some
Segue.
of these look perfect segue. Because I like Brian fucked me up with that one. Let's go ahead and let's look at some stats.
I just noticed the eye in the logo in the middle of looking.
You just figured that out after how many shows?
He's never watched the show. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Even when I'm on,
Even when he's on, he doesn't watch it.
Thanks for your support.
All right, these are per Kelly O'Burner and John Jablanca on Twitter. Bam in your face. Heat is 7-2 when Bam shoots the ball 18 plus times. They are 8-4 when Bam snags 10 plus rebounds a game.
Damn, that's a good one.
So, what does it say? I mean, when Bam touches the ball, they win. And where does Bam touch the ball?
In the
Where
paint.
does he score? In the paint.
In the paint.
Tonight, they got lucky, and they were facing a bad Thunder team. Because when they go away from Bam, and when Bam is not shooting, I mean, when Bam doesn't have the ball in his hands, they normally lose games. So that's just what the stat is kind of saying. And it's just kind of what we've been saying all night. They don't put any pressure on the rim. When they do, they win games, but normally they can't. And really, Bam and Jimmy are their only guys that can do it effectively and consistently.
Yeah, Bam is that dude this year, man.
He really is.
We've been every season since he's come in the league, he's improved every season, and this one is absolutely no different. I mean, he is this. We get that aggressive Bam on a consistent basis at this point, whereas
It's all we've been asking for, really.
It is all we've been asking for, and we
Is
have
he-
seen that show up. But we would get pissed off. We just annoyed at him when it's like, we know he can do these kind of things, and now he's finally doing that night after night. And it's great to see, but it is going to make it difficult
Beat me
if
to it.
Oh my
it is
god.
going to
Beat
make
me
it a little
to it.
difficult if I mean for a very long time it felt like if they couldn't have Jimmy, the team was going to kind of flounder and shit like that. But it's really Bam. I just think this team is so different. We lost Bam last year, and I think we all collectively were like, this team is fucked.
Yeah.
How did they win games when they lost Bam?
They shot
They're-
53.
They were setting records every fucking night with Kyle Guy.
Basically what happened tonight.
It was wild. It was wild. The bench
Tonight-
stepped up.
Yeah.
And that's not happening this season. So yeah, we need to keep Bam as healthy as possible. So I will say this: that if they don't think Bam is right, I'll take another loss right now. We cannot risk losing Bam
No.
for a long stretch. We
If,
absolutely
Jimmy,
cannot do it.
if Bam isn't feeling good and Jimmy's ready to play,
Exactly.
sit Bam.
Yeah,
If
And
you
that's
can't
what I
win
think
a
is going to
fucking
happen.
game-
You can't risk it with Bam right now. Not with the way he's playing.
I do want to say one, while we're talking stats and shit, I want to say I think the best stat that I've seen, and I haven't seen it, but I notice it, is we have the Miami Heat now have a winning streak that's longer than both the Celtics and the Bucks. So
That's
take
right.
that and just
Take
fucking
that for
do it.
data.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, the Celtics were almost on a losing streak.
He got a win for the Lakers from the Lakers. Come on,
That shit was
That was overtime, right? I felt
yeah. It was kind of nice to watch two teams continually blow double-digit leads. So it made me feel like it's not just us.
So with tonight's win,
we got a guest.
We do.
Oh.
Is it tropical around here?
Here we go. You know what it's time for.
Hey.
Oh, Tropibaby. Baskets for Tropibaby.
Live,
Wait,
from,
did you go to OKC?
live from the floor of his bedroom.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, Alex, what were you guys talking about on the 5 on the Floor post game show tonight?
A little bit of everything. Just talked about how the Heat always end up in clutch games, always blow leads they shouldn't. I mean, it was the most predictable thing that they were going to blow that lead once the three stopped falling. Really glad they pulled it out. I was really worried that it was going to go to overtime and they were going to lose, specifically after Bam fouled out. So, shout out to Tyler for making that big shot. Shout out to Vic and Caleb for their work on defense on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, on the, switching onto him there and getting them out of there, because they were going to lose on the road in overtime. And we've seen that happen a million times, especially without Bam, without Jimmy. It was going to be bad. So I'm glad they pulled it out. Now they have 2 other easy games coming up. We know how it goes with that. So we were just talking about that. We were talking about Vic showing stuff. We were talking about Tyler, of course. But yeah, man, I think you really just saw the difference between the 2 completely different teams when you talk about the Thunder and the Heat and how they play. I think the Thunder got 40 more points in the paint. I believe 28 more attempts in the paint, whereas the Heat shot 30 more from 3. Just 2 drastically different teams. So it was cool to see that. I think thought it was a pretty fun game. And yeah, that Shai dude, man, he's really, really good.
I do have a question for Alex before we move on.
Me too.
yeah, I got one too.
Yeah. Is that a Pitbull DVD behind you?
God, you beat me to it. What is the
Oh,
Mr.
my God.
305 over your shoulder? Why do you have
Holy
that?
shit.
That's a good catch from you guys. I'm trying to there we go.
Well, I mean, it's
Post it
pretty
right here.
fucking prominent. You got a light shining on it
Pick
and
that
everything.
shit
It's
up
like
and
a
show it
holy
to us,
grail
man. What are you
DVD.
doing?
Let's get a close up
I've
of
got a
that.
shit.
Show and tell.
setup
Show and
here.
tell.
First
Did
of
you
all,
get that from Chinatown?
Is it
Hey,
signed or some shit? Why is it
Can-
so
can-
prominently displayed?
Can we put the
What in the
hold on? Can we play the Moose in the Movies imaging so Alex
How
can
many
review
times have
that?
you watched that shit?
Oh.
I want to see it now.
Yeah, that would be good for Moose the movies. But no, I
No,
bought it
no.
at an antique store in Kissimmee.
antique store?
What?
How old is that
It
DVD?
had to be an antique store. in
How
Hialeah.
What do you mean?
overpriced
This is
was
history. This is Miami history right here.
It is, though. We joking, but it is.
I'll
great.
never forget, Alex. You'll never. Alf was drunk. We were leaving.
Billy
the
Corbin
rooftop.
is down bad when he made
He's
it.
just- Yo, Meadowlark Media, what the fuck are you guys
I know.
thinking?
Come on, can I read the names that are up top here? If it's
Please.
I saw Little John's on there. Who else is on
Lil
there?
John, Pretty Ricky,
Pretty
Pitbull,
Ricky.
Pitbull, obviously, Uncle Luke, DJ Khaled, DJ Laz. This,
Okay.
they've got it
Bro,
all.
how much did you pay
Goddamn.
for that, and how hard did they laugh at you?
Pretty Ricky's like that clown meme with the soldiers.
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
I don't get it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I get what he's trying to say. Go ahead.
No, Pretty Ricky
I
slang.
love
It
Pretty
had-
Ricky.
nah.
Grind on Me's a classic.
Yeah, Pretty Ricky had some hits.
Grind on me.
This is a basketball show, by the
I
way.
like how Moose can do this shit without the auto tune.
And me.
Voice is just automatically auto tune. Oh my God. All right.
Tropibaby, thanks for hopping on, man. That shit was.
Wait. I had a question for
You're not
Alex. It's
going
actually a
anywhere.
serious basketball question. There was a quote that Spose said today. You're mute, by the way. There's a quote that Spose said this week saying this is their most important week of Heat basketball. Why?
They
that's
have
a
a bunch of
easy one.
easy games they need to win.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
It's gonna
Come
save
on.
our season.
There's not going to be another stretch. I don't have to look at the schedules to know there's not going to be another stretch of easy basketball games. These teams are all in the Victor sweepstakes, man. Just take care of business, and you might not be so far from that 4-5 matchup they're destined for in the playoffs.
So he's not on the hot
seat.
seat. Okay, that's what I
No.
wanted to know. Okay.
No, just win the easy games.
Before we get to the next segment, I want to. it's a general question I'm putting out to everybody, which usually doesn't go very fucking well because you guys start talking over each other. But I'm gonna try it anyway. If Bam doesn't play tomorrow, right, and all you have is Jimmy, like, where does the rim pressure come from? And honestly, when it is Jimmy and Bam, because we were talking about Vic is going to provide this rim pressure. Vic is doing a lot of amazing things, but one thing he's not doing is getting past anybody.
Mhm.
If it ain't Bam, if it ain't Jimmy, where does rim pressure come from on this team?
You gotta hope that Kyle has a night where he feels good because he can do it sometimes. I mean, like when everybody, you guys are like laughing, but like when they were all hurt, he was going to the rim, like a lot, and he was kicking out the shooters. Like nobody was hitting anything. But
that's the whole thing with the Heat and their rim pressure, right? Is like Kyle, Tyler, and Vic can all get to the paint, get feet in the paint. That doesn't mean that they necessarily blew by somebody to get
exactly.
there. And
it's
they're creating good looks out of it, but that's how they end up firing off all these threes. And it's like, yeah, they get to the rim, they get to the paint, which you want them to do, but they don't actually get up shots there.
Yeah, but that's Alex. That's when I think like them playing a little faster helps them. So like when Jimmy's and like when people are out and they play with a lot of like these other guys, like they tend to pick up the pace a little bit. So you can kind of get in like semi-transition. Kyle can kind of get you hit ahead passes. Those other guys that are a little younger and have a little more legs in them, like Highsmith and all these guys, they run the floor really well. So they get into offense a little quicker and they kind of create rim pressure that way, not traditionally like pound the ball up top for a pick and roll. So they have to kind of adjust.
But that's not reliable to me.
No,
it's not. But it's like you're
like, if you can't get to the rim at all in the half court, if it ain't Jimmy putting his fucking head down like a fucking running back, or Eric Reed called it the ground game. Like Moose was saying, it's like when they get to the paint, it's like so slow and methodical. Like we watch these other teams, like they get a step on somebody. We ain't get a step on somebody since like 2015.
Look at Shy.
That's what I'm saying. We have nobody who gets a step on anybody.
Listen, obviously the answer is Jimmy, but if you're talking about people besides Jimmy and Bam, and I don't even know if he's going to play tomorrow, but I think Gabe is pretty good at least getting to the basket and penetrating, Now, whether he's going to finish or not, he's been better at it this year. I'm not knocking him at it. I'm just saying at least that's somebody that's going to get to the basket.
But Moose, Gabe is not like a primary creator. Like Gabe penetrates off kickouts, and hard closeouts. Fair. It's not like what I think we're looking for. That they need a guy that could kind of go up top and like make something happen without like you need a forceful roller to kind of helping anybody get downhill.
Agreed. Also, I do think that, and again, if he plays, Max Strus is another person that at least get to the paint, get in, get
but
into
not off the dribble. It's cuts.
But the answer is Jimmy. But that's it. That's what we got.
To me, that's their biggest issue, right? To me, offensively, their biggest issue is the fact that Jimmy don't want to do it all game long. He's tired. He's getting old. The ghost of Tibbs is creeping over his shoulder like David Ramil on the way on G's ride home from a Heat game. And it's Jimmy just doesn't want to do it anymore. And we've seen Tyler get to it on occasion. It's like we can pretend that one day Tyler Herro is going to be Dwayne Wade. That's not him.
No, that's
not his game.
That's not his game.
And Bam is not a take somebody off the dribble kind of guy. He can do it, but he's more get him the ball like the mid post, and he can do some work. But going downhill, the Heat just don't have that, and that's why I put it out there. I just think it's a huge gap in the Heat's offense.
They just
it's making me crazy nervous. They're going to be jacking up 63s tomorrow.
They shot 54
probably will
tonight.
I know, and they're going to try to outdo that.
It's coming, baby.
Alex, I said earlier, they set a record from 3 and only scored 110 points. I don't know if that's fucking possible. Like, I want to go back and look at every other time.
It's the only shots they take. Like, they literally took 54
No, but I want to see an
and
NBA history. I want to see an NBA history. Who has made 24 threes in a game and only scored 110 points? I bet you.
Somebody asked Coop. Somebody asked Cooper Moorhead.
So I can tell you back in Heat history, at least. So Miami set the record today with 24 made threes. They scored 110 points. The game before, which they made 23 threes, which was the previous record from last. Actually, no, yeah, it's actually this calendar year, but from last season, back
January
in April
8th.
against the Charlotte Hornets, they scored 144 points and they made 23 threes that game.
That's what I expect when you hit fucking over 23.
And then the two previous records before that at 22 made threes, also within the last 2 years. This is crazy. 123 points against Phoenix and then 125 points against Indiana.
We should have run my fucking eye test before we did that.
I was just thinking that out.
Like, dude, that is fucking wild. 24 threes, and you scored as much as the Pistons average. I mean, that's wild. It's hard to fucking do. But anyway,
I mean, NBA record's 28.
What's that?
The NBA record was 28. They were 4 shy away from the NBA record.
Well, they go for it again tomorrow night. So
yeah, if they hit 4 more threes, they would have scored 122 points, which is what half the team scored in the league tonight. Anyway,
attempts at the rim and 52 threes is just an insane shot profile, and 14 from mid range. If just to be fair, it's just insane.
No,
I know it's without Jimmy. It's without Jimmy, so that makes a difference. But
but yeah, Jimmy's gonna play 80 more games this fucking year.
It also shows you how what you were talking about before, how little they have outside of Jimmy to get consistent offense going, and why they end up just going back to the drive and kick stuff every time.
Kyle Guy is not walking through that door. And honestly, I know Christian Hernandez segue is on his honeymoon right now, and he won't be watching this. But man, I miss some yurt putbacks like a motherfucker. I really fucking do. People will call Yurt a stretch 5, even though he barely hit any threes. What he did do was score around the rim a lot, and grab a bunch of rebounds.
Yeah, Devin just shoots now.
Yeah,
True,
sniper.
Speaking of Christian Hernandez, if anybody follows any of the Heat Beat guys on Twitter or Instagram, you will see that we had a fantastic time at the Christian Hernandez wedding this weekend. We brought our significant others and loved ones. Moose brought G.
was there too.
G brought Moose.
No. I was unaware that I had an available +1. Apparently, Tropibaby just decided to take it. I did not know that there was an available +1.
Alex showed up uninvited, but he was welcomed. It was a beautiful thing.
Last second invite.
So
G picked me up from the airport, took me to his apartment.
Oh, what a weird shrine to virginity. Anyway,
Thanks for the ride, G.
Love you, buddy.
that's not what she said. Anyway,
Oh, my.
Oh my
sorry. I had a couple drinks. Instead of our normal Moose at the movies, we have a brand new segment that will appear once every, who knows, maybe when G gets married. Moose
I don't know.
at the wedding.
You like that?
Yeah, it's really nice. No imaging, but
There's no
perfect.
imaging, but I wrote Moose at the wedding like 2 seconds ago. We should
I saw it earlier. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Instead of a Moose at the movies, I want to break down this phenomenal wedding by one of my best friends. So we're gonna do the drip or drop list, basically the best and worst moments of this. So let's start with the first drip, the island vibes. That's right. Not only was my room literally 2 steps away from the beach and across from the pool bar, which was so clutch, but the weather was perfect, sunny yet breezy. I had a phenomenal and beautiful kayak adventure. It was the first time in a decade I've genuinely enjoyed a beach day because I despise the sand. Now for my first drop of the night, the hotel breakfast. Yeah, the island vibes quickly went away when I got the bill for my breakfast. I'm not making this up, okay? 2 eggs and a Bloody Mary. $40. Are you fucking kidding me? I work for Heat Beat. I'm not made of money.
Were they pterodactyl eggs? What the fuck?
No.
Why didn't you come to Green Turtle with us?
The Elements Lounge and Restaurant can go fuck off, all right? The Bloody Mary was watered down and had zero spice, just like the food. I went to a dive bar the next morning. Shout out to G, the one that he told me about. And I did work all for $11. And that was still $3 cheaper
Did you have
than
the kitchen
single
sink?
Bloody Mary. Is that the one where it's a little bit of everything?
Yeah, it's like so much shit.
Yes, that's
Fucking
what I
amazing.
had.
Perfect
Yeah, it was
hangover
amazing.
food.
All right, drip. My style, okay? Listen, everybody looked great for Christian's wedding. So good job all around. The bride was stunning and the groom was GQ cover worthy. But everybody was raving about my suit. And frankly, I stole the show, all right? All eyes were on my Italian leather and shirt with dark purple buttons combo. Not to mention the glasses and shoes to clinch the best dress of the night award.
What?
Drop! Trappy casual! Okay. I take it back, all right? Not everyone looked great. Tropibaby apparently didn't get the memo that he was going to a wedding and not an Easter brunch at his primo's house. I mean, look at everyone in this photo and then look at this waiter that just snuck in at the end. We were roasting him all night for that look. And to be fair, I was mainly roasting him because he did a terrible job with my turn down service. No fresh towels, no ice in the bucket. I mean, it was atrocious. And by the way, Tropibaby, you literally said, man, I knew you guys were going to. If you fucking knew, then maybe you should put on a jacket.
Alex, he said he wore his nice guayabera.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen.
that's the nicest shirt you're gonna get out of me.
He was getting asked for another basket of bread and water refills all night that we felt so bad and we finally lent him Alf's jacket. Just for a little while.
At least it wasn't a smoot shirt.
Alf handed him like a dirty napkin thinking he was help.
Yeah. Well, we did.
I knew it was Alex. I would have done it anyway. Shit.
We did lend him a jacket at one point. I don't know if you have the picture. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, that's Tropibaby, basically looking like the help for the night. Drip cocktail party G. Let me tell you something. There's no type of G like cocktail party G, okay? He's so much more fun than the regular G. He's joking around, introducing himself to people with a confidence I've never seen before. I mean, look at this video of G being the life of the party.
No.
Hit it. Also, let's take a look at he has one move.
I don't like this.
Look at the spinning.
I don't like
this. She's starting to get dizzy.
I don't like
Six, 7.
I was like I'm leaving.
G, you're supposed to spin her.
I'm so drunk. You leave me alone.
Oh my god.
No, look at this.
You gave her a little break here. That's nice.
Yeah, he's letting her.
I don't like this.
Keep an eye on her face.
Neither did she, G. Neither did she.
At one point, she's gonna look at the camera, ready to hurl.
Can the DMCA come? Twitch, shut the broadcast down.
DMCA, I use royalty-free music on this, bitch.
Twitch, do something.
Look, she's laughing at the
Don't go in.
tape.
Pascal
All right, you think that's it? One more for
One
good
more.
luck.
Hey! What? This shirt got more unbuttoned with every spin.
Dude, I know.
That is exactly the point, Kenny.
Fatter.
That is exactly the point. With every spin, the button came undone.
Oh, man.
With every spin, a button came undone. I'm glad that you noticed that, Kenny. It's the little
Face at
details.
the end.
Too bad she was married.
Well, that was my next point. That she was married and they never spoke again. Although he was kind of looking at her the next day at the wedding while she walked
G
away.
had her in the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Drop after party G. Okay. The Heat Beat crew may or may not have gone back to Brass's for an after party celebration sponsored by my personal secret stash. G may or may not have hit another level of gone and refused to accept it. This is a true story, and Brass will back me up. Not only did he tell me the same story about his job 3 times in 1 minute, but then he three times. But the best part was he actually forgot what the initial question was that he started rambling to. He literally goes, "Wait, what were we talking about?" Yeah. So that was it. That was it. The next one.
God.
I just love that picture. And yes, that was after their dance, so you can see how many
It got
buttons
lower
came
and lower all night.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Thankfully,
great. All right.
the last button stayed on.
Oh, thank God. That's the golden button, if you will. That covers the belly button.
That's the heat crunch time button.
Oh my!
All right, we're wrapping it up here. So, Drip, watching my best friend get married. I'm gonna get a little personal here, but it's the truth. Listen, Christian and I go. Yeah, listen, Christian and I go way back. All right, he's been a best friend of mine.
I didn't see you with the groomsmen.
Shut the fuck up. This is my segment, G. He's been a best friend of mine since we were kids. First we met in middle school, and because he got his license first, he drove me around everywhere for like 2 years. And ironically enough, his new bride was my friend first. So basically, I'm the reason for their happiness, all right? I love him like a brother because he is my brother, and I couldn't have been happier for him, for both of them, really. Like, it was just a phenomenal weekend. Drop. Watching my best friend get married. All the way from the back. All right, listen. I wasn't expecting to be at table 1. Full disclosure, I was not a groomsman, but that was mainly reserved for family, and I wasn't offended in any way.
And
I was
Teddy.
at the bachelor party and all the stuff that, happens, all that shit. But apparently, my friendship is not deep enough for tables, I don't know, 3 through 5. I mean, the rest of our high school friends were at table 4. They stuck me at 6, and I was even next to G. They stuck me with all the heat people. I mean, the only positive was the double food. Shout out to Karen. Thank you very much. I'm sorry that you were in the bathroom all night, but I got to eat double, so that was nice. And I will say that, like, by the 3rd or 4th speech, once they were, far enough along that I knew nobody was going to mention my name, we were able to actually just put on the Bally Sports app on one of the phones and watch the final minutes of the Heat Spurs game. So it kind of worked out for me. But table 6, I mean, fuck off. Brass, why don't you show them what we were doing at the table?
This was so sad. This
This was during the speeches.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was. It was.
It's like
We
a
all
home
look
improvement episode.
stressed, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
How sad is my wife took that
Oh my
video
God.
and she fucking hates me for it. Just
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little hurt. Table 6. I mean, maybe I'll take this up with Leslie later, but Christian, we gotta have a talk about that. All right. Finally, the last one. Drip the entire weekend. For real. This is no bullshit. The entire weekend was a blast. It was especially fun for me to get to mix our Heat Beat family with my lifelong friends. It was great to have everyone in one room. We laughed, we danced, we got fucked up, and from what we can remember, we had an amazing time. Here's some footage.
Turn the music off.
Now, don't worry. I did drip drop the groom too. And shout out for G for getting this video because I totally forgot it happened.
Christian did not know where he was.
Yeah, he almost choked on his
Correct.
beignet there. I don't
none
know if
of
anyone
us
noticed
knew
that.
where the fuck we were.
He almost got married and died on the same night. So that was fun. For my final drop of the night, this one's just for you, G. We're going to go with G's collar. There's really no drop, but Brass, replay the video and show the tweet because this made my night.
Oh, look at that
Look at
fucking
that.
collar, man.
That collar was doing work.
hanging on for dear life.
So
Holy
those are your
shit.
drips and drops for the Hernandez wedding, which again was a great time. Shout out to Christian and Leslie. Love you both.
Good time. Excellent job recapping
Oh
that,
my
Moose.
God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was an
Holy
excellent
shit.
time. I will say that. We had a
That
good.
Heat video was some of the hardest I've ever laughed on Heat Beat. I hadn't seen that before, so I was just amazing.
You know,
He's a big fan. Like he went from this after like, but at a certain point in the night, he was actually smiling, which is fucking crazy. Just fucking wild, man.
It's freaky.
I've never seen
He's
you
a
do
totally
that.
different person when he smiles. Like he's actually approachable.
Look, even in this one, he's smiling. I mean,
Yeah.
just good shit, man.
Dude, that's really cool that they like let you interact with all the guests during your break time.
Yeah, man, they're really cool with me.
Oh man, but it
So
would
many
got
refills from
it-
Alex. So many refills.
it would not have been a real Heat Beat wedding if not for a certain song being played though.
Yes.
Síguelo.
All weekend long, baby. All weekend long.
I don't know how they got our version.
Yeah, really cool of the band to play our version.
Right. Pepa y agua para la seca, todo el mundo batía en la discoteca. Pepa y agua para la seca, todo el mundo batía en la discoteca. Brass looks crazy as shit right
I like that you got both Brian's next to each other.